The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listener's discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Hey there.
Hi.
We're back. And we're wearing the same clothes.
The same clothes as
This
last
is so
week.
embarrassing. Good thing you can't see us.
I forgot to change my underwear. Sorry,
That's so
sick.
disgusting.
You know, people pay for that.
What, for you not to change your underwear?
Dirty underwear.
I know. I saw, Shane Dawson?
Yeah.
On YouTube. He posted a thing on eBay. He was like, Shane Dawson's worn underwear for sale. Guess how much they went for?
10,000.
100,000. He couldn't sell them though, but like
why?
People bid on them because like eBay contacted him, and apparently you can't do used underwear, and you can't sell boxer briefs on there, I guess.
That is so annoying.
Yeah, but like I'm sure there's other websites out there he can channel.
Definitely. I mean, not to be. I'm a player of all fields, but I feel like women's underwear are a lot more sufficient than men's underwear.
I'm triggered.
I figured you would be.
And what does that mean, sufficient? What do you mean? You mean like they would sell better?
They would sell better, and there's more,
More people who want
things
them
involved in women's panties.
Oh, how did we start? We're literally like, what, like a minute in, and we're already. You said the word panties. We talking about dirty underwear. Hi guys, welcome to Esoteric Oddities.
Welcome, guys.
Shit gets weird.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Jonathan, and we are continuing talking about conspiracy theories.
Guys, this is our first twofer. I always wanted
Hey.
to say that. Now I get to.
Except it's not. It's a part two. Twofer is like a 2-for-1.
You literally, 2 for 1. Oh, I guess it's not.
It's not a twofer, but you said it, so you always wanted to say it, so you got to say it.
Thanks for making my dreams come true.
You're welcome. So Sarah enlightened us on reptilians last time, which is enlightening.
Good one. But before we start, can I just tell you? So I had a dream the other night, and this dream was bizarre, and it was while I was sick. So I think it was because I was taking all these medications.
Dreams on medications are crazy.
Okay, this dream was so vivid, and I still remember it. Like literally days later, still remember it. So I walk into my house, and my roommates are hanging out in my room, and my room didn't look like my room. It looked like a dorm style room. I don't know, like it literally looked like the dorms we used to live in,
Like,
like with my stuff in it.
Oh.
So my friend is there, and they're all chilling in my room, and I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Why didn't anyone ask me if you could hang out in here? So then I realized that things are moved around, and that really pissed me off in the dream. So I told them that I was going to start locking my door, my bedroom door. I was gonna
Don't make me start locking my door.
Locking it so they couldn't watch my TV.
You should have been locked it.
I can't, Charlie.
Your cat, like, he doesn't matter in your dreams.
I was literally so concerned about him in my dreams. Even in my dreams, I was like, oh man, I can't lock it because of Char.
Oh, girl, you should have been locking it. Osama bin Laden, you should have done it.
Osama bin Laden. Oh my God.
Yo, when I was...
I'm angry even in my dreams.
Why? Relax.
I think it was just the meds.
When I was on meds, I don't remember what it was for, but I think it may have been, I was like really sick. It was when I was in high school. It was like when I had first moved here. I was really sick. I don't remember what I was on.
You got the Philadelphia disease.
So I got the Philadelphia. But I was so sick that I had a nightmare, but it was like I was somewhere in between being conscious and being asleep.
Oh no, isn't that sleep paralysis?
It wasn't sleep paralysis because I could move, but it was I think it was just a really vivid dream, and I was just on drugs. And I freaked out and I screamed and I was calling for my mom because my pillows, they turned into like a giant fucking like transformer, and I was looking up at it and it was massive and it was like trying to get me. So I couldn't even lay down and relax on my pillow because it was trying to get me. And I was annoyed. I was like, Mom, make it stop.
See?
I was definitely like on some shit though.
I'm saying I don't think I'm always angry in dreams, but I think since I was on the medication that it was just
definitely plays a part. Do you know the this man thing where like, have you seen this man in your dreams? Have you ever heard of that?
What?
So
Oh my god, I don't know if I want to listen to this. I have to go home alone.
Have you seen this man? It's basically, hang on, let me read a thing that comes up here. Okay. Just wait. There's a good ending too. Or conclusion, if you will. So it says, in January 2006 in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws the face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. In more than one occasion, the man has given her advice on her private life. The woman swears she has never met the man in her life before. The portrait lies forgotten on a psychiatrist's desk for a few days until one day later, another patient recognizes the face and says, that man often visits him in his dreams.
No.
He also claims that he has seen the man, that he has never seen the man in his waking life. The psychiatrist decides to send the portrait to some of his colleagues that have patients with recurrent dreams. Within a few months, 4 patients recognize the man as a frequent presence in their dreams. All patients refer to him as this man. Crazy, right?
What does he look like?
He looks like a man.
Just literally a man?
He's like a scary man with like...
I could see it in the reflection of your glasses. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture. But
when
the outcome...
will my reflection...
But guess, then there was thisman.org where people were going and all these people started reporting that they saw this man in their dreams.
Do you think it's real?
No, it's a hoax.
Oh.
Sorry to break it to you that way. It was a hoax. And it was actually a marketing technique for a upcoming film that's called This Man, which is written and directed by American filmmaker Brian Bertino. So shout out to them because that's actually really crafty.
Is it gonna when is it gonna be out?
I don't know. I think it might be out, but
I want to know more.
But when I was little, I had this reoccurring dream, and
I've never had those.
I remember it so vividly, and it was in my old house before I even moved to Chicago. So I had to have been in like preschool, kindergarten. I have a really good memory back then because I moved when I was halfway through kindergarten, and I remember this. It was on my old house, and I had it all the time.
That's probably why your memory is not that great now.
True. So I was in the car, and my mom, I was in the back seat. My mom got in the car, and then she said, "Wait, I like left something in the house." So she would go back in the house, and I would be in my car seat, and the car started rolling backwards into traffic, and then I would wake up when a car would hit me, and I was in like kindergarten.
I used to have a lot of falling dreams when I was little. Like,
where you're like falling and then you jolt awake. I only had that like once.
I used to have, I'm telling you, I think I would have more than the average person. Like every single time I go to sleep, I would be falling.
I would, for some reason, I would feel like, some people have said that this is vertigo or it's like has...
I'm telling you, yes. Every time I hear that, I picture her little head jolted to the side, walking around.
I'd be laying in bed and it would feel like I'm on like a gravitron. Have you ever felt that?
What's a gravitron? Oh my god, that thing that spins and it pulls you back and you can go like upside down.
Yeah.
I don't like those rides. That makes me sick.
Yeah, that was every time I would lay down.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. And
Ew.
I would feel like I
love laying down.
It's one of my favorite pastimes.
It honestly is.
No, but it would feel like I was being like sucked into my bed for hours.
Someone
and I couldn't sleep.
Pulling you in there.
I literally could not sleep. It was awful.
It was the man.
All right. Speaking of the man, let's jump into my conspiracy
He literally
theory.
wouldn't tell me, so
this is a conspiracy theory. Again, if you didn't hear the last one, these are theories. It's a fun way to look at ideas.
Life.
Open your mind to new possibilities, don't you know? Because again, I used to make conspiracy theory videos, and no amount of Niagara original formula starch spray could stiffen out the wrinkle in these people's panties.
Hey.
There we go. We're talking about panties again.
I love panties.
Are you ready for my topic, Sarah?
Yeah, because I've been asking you for days.
This is Britney Spears, the Illuminati puppet.
Yo, are you joking? Okay, I can't wait for this. I am super excited that you covered this because I know your facts are going to be on point.
I have 12 pages.
And I can't wait. Let's go. Let's roll.
Okay, so tons of these theories. surrounding this come from very concerned Christian people or people whose beliefs are deeply based in Catholicism, and they think that like pop music is the devil's work, like quite honestly, and they think everything's all rooted in the devil, and who knows, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's not the exact avenue that I'm going to be taking. So just like a little preface that I'm not going to be, but then again, like that information kind of bleeds into this information, like my second day of my period. Too graphic? Sorry about that.
Never.
My nose bled today and I called it my face period. All right. Okay, but let's be honest, because Hollywood right now is being pretty much like exposed. Everybody's laundry is being out, and like shout out to all of the men and women who are speaking out against all these allegations.
You guys are really brave.
And you know, this type of stuff has gone on for a very long time, and it's been, you know, kind of undercover. And me bringing this Britney Spears thing is not me mocking or in any way comparing this conspiracy theory to the people and children who have been sexually assaulted and exploited in Hollywood. Just want to put that out there. But the point that I'm trying to make is that at one point in time, what's happening now in Hollywood and all these people who are coming out with all these allegations and saying that they have been like sexually assaulted and abused and things like that. There was a time when that was so taboo to any normal person not normal person, but any random person who lives in the middle of Minnesota and doesn't understand how any of that stuff works. So I'm just saying that like people thought that a topic was so taboo and unrealistic and unheard of, but now we're seeing all this stuff come to light. So just, you know, keep that in mind.
I feel like it's happening with so many things. So why wouldn't it be with this specific subject? You know what I mean?
Just a thought, just putting it out there, not comparing them, just kind of putting it out there. And you know what? You don't have to believe, you don't have to put on your tinfoil hat, but just hear me out.
That's his favorite line.
And try to keep an open mind. I have tinfoil hats upstairs.
I love it. Let's go.
I do. Okay. So.
I meant let's go, like let's wear them.
Britney Jean Spears was born on December 2nd, 1981 in Macomb, Mississippi, and raised in Kentwood, Louisiana. Before the age of 10, she was performing in talent shows and singing competitions all over the South. In December 1992, Britney was cast in the Mickey Mouse Club alongside Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and a few others. In August of 1997, at the age of 16, she began recording her debut album, Baby One More Time. And at its release, her voice was instantly recognized and set apart from everyone else's, which is interesting because if you ever like look up on YouTube like young Britney Spears singing, it's really compelling to compare her kind of like whiny sexual baby voice that she has now. Yeah. Because listening to 10-year-old Britney, she's like belting out these tunes and you can definitely hear a vocal range in her that I'm assuming that she could still hit by the time she was 16, but they
tore that down.
The man who thought of the signature voice change was Max Martin, who I feel us millennials kind of owe something because he was a producer behind Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way, No Doubts, It's My Life, a ton of NSYNC songs, and he still continues today to work with Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Katy Perry, and many others. But like I said before, he wanted people to hear a voice on the radio that they had never heard before. He didn't want people to ask, who is that? He wanted people to say, that's Britney Spears. So Baby One More Time was released when Britney was 18 in 1998 under the record label Jive. And not that you need me to tell you this, but that shit was a hit. And by the year 2000, it broke a world record for the best-selling album in the U.S. by a female artist and the best-selling album by a teenage solo artist. It went diamond, and before she turned 20 in 2001, Britney Spears sold over 25 million albums worldwide. Which is funny because before I turned 20, I sold over 25 grams of oregano to underage kids, and I told them it was marijuana. I'm totally just kidding.
Oh my God,
I'm
stop.
Totally just kidding. I was underage too.
True.
Shut up. I'm a jokester. LOL, learn how to joke, y'all. So the song was written by Max himself, and it was first offered to the group TLC, who turned it down.
Imagine TLC singing that song.
Right. Watkins explained on MTV News that the trio passed on the song as they did not feel it represented the band appropriately.
Definitely doesn't.
Quote, I was like, I like the song, but do I think it's a hit? Do I think it's TLC? I'm not saying hit me, baby. No disrespect to Britney. It's good for her. But I was
going to say that it's really controversial. I know it wasn't back then, but now.
But was I going to say, hit me, baby, one more time? Hell no. So side note, the confusion came as Max, he doesn't really speak English.
Oh.
So he was confused because in the 90s, he thought hit was American slang for call me because he heard hit me up.
Yeah.
So he thought it was like call me, baby, one more time.
Right.
But he was saying hit me, baby, and he didn't mean like hit me.
Right. It's okay because nowadays people be like, hit me. Like, it means hit me up. I don't know. I guess.
Okay, so the success of Baby One More Time put Britney in a position of high power, and whether you want to agree with that or not, it's fucking true. Because especially in the early to mid 2000s, if Britney said buy Pepsi, people bought Pepsi. In fact, they did. By the year 2000, Pepsi Cola sales per capita were at an all-time high, with 20-year-old superstar Britney Spears as their biggest endorsement ever. And at the time, she was standing on a platform in front of millions of people, both worldwide and figuratively, literally on her tour. She was racking in a ton of money, which in turn, gives a person a ton of power. But what if Britney didn't really have any power at all? What if she was just a marionette on a string of public distractions and hidden agendas?
Tell me more.
Enter the Illuminati. So who or what exactly is the Illuminati? Well, Sarah, I'm glad you asked. They're an organization who often alleged to conspire to control world affairs by masterminding events, planting agents in governments and corporations in order to gain political power and influence and to establish a new world order.
Oop, there's that word again.
And their origins root back to the 1700s with Freemasonry. So central to some of the most widely known and elaborate conspiracy theories, the Illuminati have been depicted as lurking in the shadows and pulling strings and levers of power in dozens of songs, films, television shows, comics, video games, and music videos. So we often see the effect of the Illuminati in mainstream artists because it's the easiest way to directly get to people. Think about it. It's through television, it's through movies, it's through music. So lyrics also play a major role in alleged control the Illuminati has. If you look into a lot of things like hit songs, they're usually not written in totality, at least by one artist themselves.
No.
There's a bunch of nameless people. Fergalicious took 11 people to write that. You can take that to the bank. Check it out on the Wikipedia.
There's this one song by Rihanna. I think it's Disturbia. If you play it backwards, it's really disturbing.
Disturbia. So it is thought that, in writing the songs, this is where the Illuminati slides in what messages they want mankind to hear. Conspiracy theories surrounding subliminal messages was nothing new by the 90s because tons of conspiracies surrounded the success of the Beatles and the idea that hidden messages could be heard when the vinyl was played backwards.
Oop, there it is.
A technique recording artists call backmasking. Lots of people heard secrets that explained that the real Paul McCartney was dead and replaced, but that's another theory for another podcast episode. Even Charles Manson had heard messages from the Beatles' White Album and claimed that they were the biggest reason that he started his cult or family of murderers.
Did you ever hear that song, Like a Prayer by Madonna?
Have I heard the song you're talking to a gay man, right?
I know, but just listen to it and then think of the Illuminati. This shit is really, really weird. I don't like it. Every time I hear it now, I'm like, turn it off.
So some people hear messages in Britney's songs, for example, in Baby One More Time. If you play it backwards where she says, with you I lose my mind, give me a sign. Backwards it supposedly says, sleep with me, I'm not too young. Did you ever hear it before?
No, but she also wrote that song, If You Seek Amy.
So I remember this on E-Bombs World. TBT, way back in elementary school.
What's E-Bombs World?
What? Are you kidding me?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my God, in elementary school, it was like the shit.
Yeah,
it's like, you told me. The Bubble Girl, right? You were talking about that E-Bombs World had like that peanut butter jelly time. All the old school, like before memes were a thing, we had nowhere to go. It was ebombsworld.com. Some of the stuff was dirty. Anyway, that was on there. And I remember I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I have to tell everyone. So that's for subliminal messages and lyrics. And, you already said If You Seek Amy. I also didn't know that for the first year, I think that song was out. Yeah. And my mom was like, what'd she say? What is she spelling? And if you don't know out there, If You Seek Amy is a Britney Spears song.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
If you fuck me.
No. If You Seek Amy
spells... Yes, if you...
No.
If you, yes.
Yeah, it just spells fuck me.
Yeah. But it's really like, if you fuck me.
Yes. Because she says all of the boys and all of the girls are begging to F-U-C-K me.
Oh.
So she said all of the boys and all the girls are begging to fuck me.
I think it's true.
And if you watch the video, there's tons of Illuminati symbolism. And her video for I Want to Go, she wears a shirt that displays a skull with Mickey Mouse ears. And it's also said that Disney is tied to the Illuminati. Did you ever,
I'm singing that song.
The whole like hidden stuff in Disney movies?
Yes, which is crazy.
The perverted shit. I just want to say I found one on my own on a VHS copy of The Brave Little Toaster that nobody's really talked about. In it's either The Brave Little Toaster, The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, whatever one where they have the musical number with the clowns. I forget exactly what it is, but this guy opens a filing cabinet and when he closes it, all these papers go everywhere. And I thought I saw something as a kid. So I went back and I paused it, and when you used to pause on VHSs, it was super staticky and you couldn't really see it, but there is no doubt a naked lady in that movie. Why
did they do that? I guess
Illuminati
did they do
perverts.
it to make it adult-like?
Listen, why do people do a lot of fucked up shit that they do?
Couldn't tell ya.
So the Illuminati's agenda is further carried out through an artist's alter ego. And by definition, an alter ego is recognized as a second self which displays characteristics, behavior, or holds belief systems notably different than our primary selves. So we've seen it in Beyonce. She had Sasha Fierce, Eminem, Slim Shady, Nicki Minaj, Roman Zelensky, and Lady Gaga. Not so much, but she had the Joe Calderon, I think his last name was. And even Hannah Montana, there's a whole show dedicated to a girl who splits up her alter ego. So how does the Illuminati take this alter ego and control the celebrity how they want to? Well, Sarah, have you ever heard of MK Ultra?
Yes, it's so crazy because I was going to do it on this and I'm glad I didn't.
Ooh. Okay, so all right. So hold on, guys. It's about to get a little crazy. Project MK Ultra, also called the CIA Mind Control Program, is the code name given to a program of experiments on human subjects, at times illegal, designed and undertaken by the United States Central Intelligence Agency. This is real. This was proven to be true. This part that I'm talking about, MK Ultra, not a conspiracy theory.
No,
it was at one point.
It never was.
Yes, it was. People thought that the government was experimenting and everybody was like, that's crazy. But the files are out. You can look it up. It's very real. It was proven to be true. Seriously, do a simple Google search. You'll see verified government documents that have been scanned. So the actual document itself, it's not like a digital type up that anybody can do. And this whole thing, it went to court too. You probably have heard of it if you're into this stuff, but a lot of people have never heard of it because it was kind of obviously wanted to be kept under wraps.
Under the rug, yeah.
So the experiments on the humans were intended to identify and develop drugs and procedures that were used in interrogations and torture in order to weaken the individual to force confessions through mind control. Organized through the Scientific Intelligence Division of the CIA, the project was coordinated with the Special Operations Division of the U.S. Army's Chemical Corporation. So the operation began in the early 1950s and ended in 1973, and the scope of Project MK Ultra was broad, with research that was undertaken at 80 institutions, including 44 colleges and universities, as well as hospitals, prisons, and pharmaceutical companies. The CIA operated through these institutions using front organizations, although some top officials at the institutions were aware of the CIA's involvement. This shit literally went to court. This is not part of the conspiracy theory. This is what's going to lead up to Britney Spears. So, as the U.S. Supreme Court later noted in the CIA versus Sims 471 U.S. 159 in 1985, this is a direct quote. Quote, MK Ultra was concerned with the research and development of chemical, biological, and radiological materials capable of employment and clandestine operations to control human behavior. Again, that is a real documented statement noted by the U.S. Supreme Court. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what does. Iron out your tinfoil hat. MK Ultra, again, not a fucking conspiracy. As always, our sources are going to be in the show notes, and I encourage you to do your own research on this topic, but be careful what links you're clicking on, because if you fall down the digital rabbit hole...
Do not fall down the rabbit hole. That rabbit hole is scary and not a place to be.
Your internet history can never be 100% wiped clean.
That too.
So the testing is said to have included, but is not limited to, the administering of LSD, electroshock therapy, physical abuse, isolation, and sensory deprivation, and was conducted on both adults and children.
So I read this article, and it states that people in the music industry, especially women, they go through, when they're child stars, they're called kittens, and basically they have like an advisor, and this advisor sexually abuses them. They basically make them like really, really low, so they listen and they pay attention, and then as they get older, they go through something like a camp, and it's basically like where this MK Ultra is basically practiced on them, and by the time they're like adult stars, they're already like swept into the Illuminati, and they're basically trained to listen, and they're so sexually abused that they don't know like what's anything, basically. I really wish I had that article, because I don't.
So once light was shed on the existence of MK Ultra in the 1970s, the CIA quickly stepped forward, saying that it had stopped all such experiments. Since that point, however, several whistleblowers have come forward and said the project merely went completely underground, with Monarch Mind Control being the classified new name. Monarch Mind Control, or MMC, is where the creation of an alternate persona is the primary goal. In full, MMC is noted as a mind control technique that combines occult rituals, psychology, and neuroscience to create alter egos within a desired subject. Within MMC, the subject is often referenced to as the slave or the puppet, where those responsible for both applying the technique and activating them is known as the handlers. I'll be using these words later. It is believed by many that once fully programmed, monarch puppets are used on demand by an elite group to carry out rituals, performances, deliver messages to the masses, or anything else that they want done. Side note, in a controversial and courageous speech held in 1992, the well-respected author and psychologist Dr. Corey Hammond dove deeper into the process of MMC, shedding light on how exactly the process works. His research was founded in speaking to fellow therapists and specifically recommending clients across the country, identifying a number of common brainwashing techniques. But shortly after delivering his speech, Dr. Hammond completely stopped all research and talks of the subject, and the primary reasoning was the alarming number of death threats he received. So you remember Roseanne Barr? Mm-hmm. She did a 13-minute video interview where she took the reins and spoke out on behalf of many fearful people in Hollywood. And she stated, quote, "Hollywood is the one that keeps all of the power and structure. They perpetuate the culture of racism, sexism, classism, genderism, and keep it all in place. They continue to feed it, and they make a lot of money doing it. They do it at the behest of their masters who run everything. I speak on behalf of Hollywood. I go to parties, Oscar parties, and things like that, and big stars pull me aside, take my arm, and whisper, 'I just want to thank you for saying the things that you say,' and it blows my mind. But that's the culture. It's the culture of fear. It's a big culture of mind control. MK Ultra rules Hollywood." End quote. And Britney Spears knew this all too well, and in 2004 she did something her handlers would not approve of. So before I get into it, look at it this way. Think about how many hands a song has to go through before it's like released to the public, before it's even added to like an album. Then realize that most artists, again, don't write most of their songs, so they have little or nothing to say about hidden or subliminal messages that are placed in their songs. And there's obvious contracts that bind artists to complete and release albums Sometimes artists are trapped in a fucked situation, like we saw with Kesha and Dr. Luke. And it's not as simple as Britney Spears sitting down at a piano with a pen and a paper in a hidden bungalow in the north, writing hours on end until her perfect album is complete. No, that can be said for smaller bands, indie bands, and people who write a lot of their own music like Adele. But for somebody of Britney's caliber, not so much. It takes tons of people behind the scenes, literally pulling strings, crafting an album that they want to release to the public. So then what happens? Us as listeners, Britney fans, or whatever the hell you want to call us, we listen to the catchy songs. They're on the radio all the time. We hear them when we go to the grocery store. We hear them when we go to Walmart and watch somebody wipe their Frito fingers all over lingerie. It's a reference to the last episode if you missed that one.
You missed it.
You know, and we listen to the messages through our headphones. It's hard to dodge them if you think about it. We basically let them in. So now back to 2004. So in 2004, Britney was working on a secret project with her without her record label. She wrote a few songs, and this is true. This isn't part of the conspiracy theory. This is like actual fact. She wrote a few songs and began collecting them to become an album titled Original Doll. With 3 low-key producer friends, she recorded the song Mona Lisa, and all of this was behind her record label's back because it had to be.
Right.
It was December 2004, just before New Year's Eve, when Jesse Lozano was filling in for the regular host of Kiss FM in Burbank, California, who was on vacation. This is a radio station. So he was told that Britney Spears was on the phone and she said she wanted to play her new song. As most of us would, he thought it was a prank. And he recently, actually, I think it might have been like 2014, he did a interview with BuzzFeed, and he said, quote, "Usually you don't believe that, but an hour later, the singer was outside the radio station studio with a bodyguard and her chihuahua and wearing no shoes. She had a CD with her and asked, 'Can we play this on the air?'"
Boy, Jesse in for JoJo tonight. He's so bummed he missed his top 9 at 9.
It's JoJo's top 9 at 9. JoJo's top 9 at 9. Kiss FM.
Britney Spears live in studio. Do you have to take a super secret CIA mission secure route to Burbank from your crib so that you don't get followed? I didn't see anybody outside.
I know,
There wasn't
awesome.
one camera anywhere.
I know, it was great.
How'd you pull it off?
I don't know, he just kind of snuck away.
Did you put a disguise on? You just bring a gigantic guy with you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for hanging tonight.
Well, thank you.
Good luck with your album. It's untitled.
It's probably going to be called The Original Doll, so.
And it's half done?
Yeah, it's halfway done right now.
All right, so maybe by the summer, maybe by the fall?
Yeah, maybe a little bit earlier.
All right, well, more of her new song on the way, hopefully tonight on the top 9 at 9.
Hi.
Go ahead, darling.
Hi, what's up? This is Britney Spears, and this is Mona Lisa, and it's number 1.
Number 1. Yeah. Number 1.
That was her name.
102.7 Kiss FM.
So that was Britney Spears in the studio. So then they aired the song for the first and last time. Mona Lisa was never played again on the radio, ever. And a representative from Jive, her record label, told Billboard a week later the song was never to be serviced on the radio, and they, quote, had no album scheduled at the moment. They were pissed. And if it weren't leaked in the later 2000s, it's probable that this song would have never reached an ear again. So Mona Lisa is basically the part 2 of her year 2000 hit Lucky, which, if you don't know, was the story of a girl who had an alter ego who was famous. So here's a little taste of the lyrics from Mona Lisa. It opens up and it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a little story to tell about Mona Lisa and how she suddenly fell. Now see, everyone knew her. They knew her oh so well. Now I'm taking over to release her from her spell. She's the original. She's unforgettable. She wants you to know she's been cloned."
Oh no. I wasn't ready for that. I wish she warned me.
It's kind of incredible. It's so unpredictable. She wants you to know she's been cloned. She's been cloned. She's been cloned. You can find that song online. It's called Mona Lisa, Britney Spears, unreleased. And here we see Britney obviously trying to break past her handlers and go directly to her listeners by writing songs on her own, then literally walking barefoot to a radio station in the flesh and handing them a CD. Now, a few months later, in 2005, she posted a blog entry on her website where Britney herself stated, quote, "Now that the chaos has subsided, I finally feel as though I have the control I've wanted over my own destiny." Now, remember, this was a time before Twitter. This was before Instagram. I believe she did have a MySpace, but it was totally run by management. And alongside this post, she published a poem called Remembrance of Who I Am, which had lines like, quote, "No more chains that you gave me, enough of pain now I'm craving, something sweet, manipulation is the key, they screw it in you because you're naive. You come to me now, why do you bother? Remember the Bible, the sins of the father. The guilt you said made me weak. The voodoo you did, I cannot speak. You're awakening, the phone is ringing. Resurrection of my soul, the fear I'm bringing. What will you say and what will you do? She's not the same person that you're used to." So
I'm shook.
the poem was accompanied yet again by another message that said, quote, "This is for everyone who thinks they know me." And some of these lines were actually recorded word for word on an unreleased song in 2006 titled All That She Wants, which again was never really released, but it was leaked online in 2008, so you can find that somewhere online. Shortly after the publication of that poem I just read, it was taken down by management. In 2006, a song titled Rebellion was hinted to her fans. She posted a short 15-second snippet of the song on the main page of her website, accompanied by a digital image of herself being transformed into a Bengal tiger. It was never released as a single. It was never performed live, and it would never get any critical response from anyone outside of diehard Britney fandom or those who deeply research conspiracy theories. I am both of those people. Rebellion is assumed to be a track on the original Doll album, which again was never released. This song was going to explore the dark side of fame in a way no artist really had been so straightforward with. A full set of lyrics was uploaded to AZ Lyrics on June 24th, 2006, with an audio track that now is no longer available. And it says, quote, "You might not believe me, but trust me, this is true. You fall for their poison and become part of their crew. I'm in a rebellion and I'm up against the truth. So will you join me or will you be taken too? The eye that is deceiving is the one that is trapping us in. I'm fighting a losing battle and my patience is wearing thin. But in a rebellion, there's a glimmer of light and nobody claims the crown without sacrifice."
I'm scared.
However, these lyrics were taken down, and for a long time they could not be found anywhere. But do you know what the Wayback Machine is? It's like a website that archives old websites, so you can like go on the Wayback Machine, look up exactly what like Google looked like in the year like 2001 on this date, and somebody archived it so it looks like an actual website, so it's interactive and you can like click around. Sometimes the links are dead. No. It literally, like, if you want to see what myspace.com, the front page, if you want to look at what that looked like in the year 2005, you can go back and you can actually like interact with what MySpace used to look like, because you know how it's all different now. Okay. So it's called the Wayback Machine. They basically just archive a bunch of things. So the only way that you could find these lyrics was going on AZ Lyrics through the Wayback Machine. That was the only way you could find it. However, now, you can view it. As for the song itself, it was never released, obviously, after those 15 seconds that she showed on her official website. And the only snippet of the song that you could find was from a camcorder video taken of Britney sitting in her convertible at a red light, listening to the first 15 seconds again of the song. So it's basically like a fan or paparazzi, and he's screaming at her. She's sitting in her car and you can hear the song, and then she drives away before you can hear the words starting. It's kind of creepy. And due to the mid-2000s quality of the camcorder, it's awful. And the muffled sounds of LA pass. So now you can actually find the song. It's published on sketchy websites as well as YouTube in low quality, and the pitch is distorted. So, like, that's the only way you can listen to this song. Isn't that crazy?
I don't want to listen to anything distorted right now. I am good.
So, Christopher Olsen, Scott Storch, and a man named Jeff Danderam worked with Britney on Rebellion, as well as other songs on the original Doll album. Remember I told you the 3 low-key producers? These are those guys. So Jeff opened up in an interview in 2013 stating that he was talking about this album again, which Britney won't talk about. And he says that the album was, quote, about the evil forces that pull the strings. And he later stated that people connect it with the Illuminati, and this could be true, says one of Britney's producers. So perceiving Rebellion as a cry for help, fans say that the track was Britney's attempt to expose the Illuminati, cut the control of Hollywood, and that its failure to be heard represents the stifling of the effort of the higher forces. So Jeff claims he attempted to purchase and release the track officially, just the Rebellion track, not even the full album. And he went as far as secretly uploading the entire song to YouTube at one point without any fans surprisingly notice. Then he was forced to take it down by people above him. So furthering this notion, according to fans, is, Spears' increasingly robotic appearances following 2007, and the fact that Christopher Olsen fell to his death in a casino in 2010, and Scott Storch was found nearly dead in 2009. So you may still be asking the question, why? Why would a massive corporation or organization be looking for a new world order? Why would they want Britney? Why would they want Britney Spears?
Because look at her. She literally can control everything. There's so many people that love her.
Right, absolutely. So they can take the real person and essentially turn them into whoever the hell they want to be. Basically a robot that can be used as a puppet or whatever, to accomplish or talk about or record anything that they needed. And also it is claimed by that the Illuminati used Britney to control the public's attention when it came to tabloids and the press. I have another clip here for you.
You're going to be on the National Mall soon performing for Pepsi and the NFL and also to support our troops. A lot of entertainers have come out against the war in Iraq. Have you?
Honestly, I think we should just trust our president in every decision that he makes, and we should just support that, and be faithful in what happens.
Do you trust this president?
Yes, I do.
Who was the president at the time?
George W. Bush, silly Billy.
I knew it.
So let's take a look at some of these dates, shall we? January 5th, 2004, a year earlier, one of George W. Bush's companions blew the cover of CIA agent Valerie Plame. The fallout from Plamegate led to the indictment of Scooter Libby, a top-tier Bush official. And a week before the United States versus Libby was about to start, Britney married childhood friend Jason Alexander in Las Vegas, and 55 hours later, the marriage was annulled. So this story was widely covered and drove the attention away from the mess the government had on its hands. April 2006, Bush's approval rating was at 38%, which at the time was an all-time low. Almost immediately, Britney is seen driving with infant Sean Preston, which is her son, on her lap rather than a car seat. Later, child welfare officials and the sheriff's department investigate a story that Sean was injured from a fall from a high chair. So people stop talking about George W. Bush and engage in endless debates about lap/infant protocol when the nation should be, talking about politics. So November 6, 2006, a day before the midterm election, in which Republicans could potentially lose 33 Senate seats and 435 House seats, Britney Spears announces her split from Kevin Federline. This is the day before. Then in early 2007, Britney tried to escape the hold of her handlers once again. So we all remember she shaved her head, screamed at the paparazzi, and used an umbrella to smash a paparazzi's SUV while screaming, "Fuck you." It is alleged that the Illuminati was somewhat temporarily losing control on her. They were losing their grip, but they were smart and they used it to their advantage and made a shit ton of money off of it, which goes without saying. That's pretty messed up if you're going to make money off of somebody's mental illness, especially if you potentially created it.
Right.
March 14th, 2007, Attorney General Alberto Gonzales admits that a few mistakes were made in the firing of 8 U.S. attorneys who didn't seem loyal enough to Bush. That same exact day, a story leaked about Britney's romance in rehab with some musician. So the tabloids covered the shallow story and literally were placed physically over newspapers about Bush on newsstands and checkout counters. So that same year...
Yes, let's just use her downfall to our advantage.
This is all in 2007. And this same year, her 5th studio album, Blackout, was released. First off, just soak up the irony of that title, Blackout.
Right.
Second off, this was one of her best-selling albums. How is this going to happen the same time? Because according to a timeline, they claim that she was recording in the studio while her mental break was happening. This could mean perhaps that they still had control of her alter ego, or perhaps Britney's voice is not on the album at all. Enter Maya Marie. So Maya Marie is a singer and a backup vocalist, mostly for Britney Spears, and her voice sounds insanely like Britney Spears. So let me play you a clip really quick. This is a Britney Spears unreleased song. It's called Black Widow. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Britney Spears. That was Maya Marie's vocals.
How do you know?
That was it. She came out and that is Maya Marie's vocals.
So the whole album was her?
No, this song was not on the album.
Oh.
This is a different unreleased Britney song. So a few years later in February, Star magazine claimed Maya had sung 7 songs on Britney's album. Maya's father, Murray Langston, told the publication, quote, "My daughter sings for Britney Spears. The truth is, Maya can sound just like her. She has a knack. Maybe Britney doesn't know whose voice is on her album, and it doesn't even interest her. Maybe she just comes in, lays down the track, leaves, and doesn't care." Maya is also credited as vocals on Miley Cyrus's song SMS, which is featuring Britney Spears. And this would explain the success of a successful album coming out while she's potentially having a quote-unquote uncontrollable mental break. And this would also explain why Britney doesn't like talking about the Blackout album at all. But the Illuminati doesn't just have control over the songs. They have complete artistic control over the music videos too. And Britney's videos are literally drenched in occult symbolism. The all-seeing eye, the triangles, the demons, ancient symbols, Baphomet, and other shit like that they pretty much dangle in front of your face. If you simply look up any pop star that you want, or an R&B artist or somebody pretty famous, and type in Illuminati symbolism, you will see it if you have not seen it before. And you see how repetitive it gets. You know, the hand over the eye, the triangle,
Madonna at the Super Bowl,
the 666 on the fingers. And it is alleged that the organization, the Illuminati, really likes to mock and pretty much just let you see what most people don't even think that they're looking for. And in her music video for Slumber Party with Tinashe, there is so much symbolism. It's insane. Did you see it?
I love that video.
You saw it?
Yeah.
You get it though, right?
I love it.
So she basically,
Yeah.
she basically puts it all out there in an interview with Mario Lopez.
Yeah. I want to talk about your new single, Slumber Party.
Yes.
I know you do that with Tinashe.
Yes.
And does Slumber Party, does it mean like the old school Slumber Party, or is it like a hidden meaning?
It's kind of like, we just did the video, and it's kind of like a younger Eyes Wide Shut theme. So it's kind of a little risky, it's very sexy, it's very moody, and it's fun. It's fun.
Do you know what Eyes Wide Shut is, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he's disappointed.
Stanley Kubrick? No? Okay. So
I'd probably know if I saw it.
It's a movie. We'll have to watch it one day because I feel like you would really like it. And there's a whole different conspiracy theory behind that and Stanley. So let me kind of break it down slightly. So it's about, the movie itself is kind of, it's about a lot of things, but essentially it's like an underground sex cult that's very similar to the Illuminati. So Stanley Kubrick, he filmed it. He saw the final cut. Then 6 days later, he died before it was released. And there's theories saying that it was re-edited before it was released. So what we see isn't what he wanted. And there's just so much in this film, so much more. There's so much symbolism. It's a lot deeper than what you're getting on the surface. And you know, symbolism, the Illuminati loves it.
They sure do.
And have you seen Clockwork Orange? Girl. Okay, so Clockwork Orange, they say...
That's not fair. You are a film major. You love film.
They say it's essentially about MK Ultra. I have the DVD, girl. Don't worry, we'll watch it.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Strangelove is about warning people about fluoride in water and government control of the mines and all this fun stuff. But Britney is not the only one. When Kanye, went on his 20-minute rant on stage before canceling the tour.
Yeah, I couldn't find that video, by the way.
Well, did you ever see it?
No, I couldn't find the video.
Did you see some of it? Did you listen to what he had to say?
I couldn't find the video.
So,
like, it was just like, I found a
they
video.
don't want you to find it.
They don't. I watched a
I
video
did
of
find a
him
video.
on, it was like at a concert he had, but the things he's saying wasn't making sense. So.
Well, the things he was saying, they don't directly make sense, but if you kind of correlate them with like people ruling over the whole industry, and think about it. I remember my freshman year of college, I had to do, I forget what it was for. I really don't, it was like a creative writing class or something. We had to pick some artist, and we had a musical artist, and then we made like a graph. I picked Nicki Minaj, naturally, and then we made a graph, like a spider web chart or some shit like that, and we do, well, what label is she signed to, and then we do that one, and then they go, well, who's the parent company of that, and then we did that one, and everybody in the class presented theirs. Everybody's was like with the same parent company.
Really?
So think about it. Technically, those people just, I'm not going to say it because I don't want anybody after me. But you're picking up what I'm putting down?
No.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, girl. Pretty much, if every musical artist is under one big umbrella, they're the fucking Illuminati.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whether you want to believe that these people wear like hats and live in the dark and wear trench coats and like snipe people away.
They do.
Either they do, or they're just like people who control everything that you hear.
Yeah. That's what they do, though. They control everything that everyone does. And
did you know, they say Beyonce and Jay-Z are at the top of a lot of this. Did you ever see that video of Beyonce at the basketball game? Yeah, that's so crazy.
They also say that Hillary is up there.
And Lady Gaga especially.
Yeah, and that really upsets me because I really love her, but
Lady Gaga may be the most notorious. I think when she started coming out with stuff, that's when I really started to hear about the Illuminati and stuff. And she has so many conspiracies surrounding her, including the murder of a fellow musician she was actually in competition with, like to take the place of Lady Gaga being the alter ego. Like she's Stephanie. Right. And then there's this other girl, and there was going to be one Lady Gaga. They were both competing for her. And the other girl, I forget exactly what her name is, but she actually died in like a freak accident way, and her dad ended up coming out. If you guys like conspiracy theories and you want us to do another one,
that up.
Email us. We'll dive into all this shit for you.
And then look up Madonna, because she is
on another one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a clip. Another one. Do you guys love clips? I love clips.
I like these clips.
Clips. So this is a clip from a video Lady Gaga did before her first album came out, and she's basically brushing a bleach blonde wig that she's wearing, and she's throwing away any pieces of hair that are coming out, which is symbolic for, cleansing and ridding of her old self. And at the very end, she describes how she got what she really wants. And then she places on her once iconic hair bow, which became her original symbol of fame.
Brush, brush, brush away, Candy. What is it that you search for? Oh dear.
I've been brushing for hours, just to make sure. It's gone.
I guess we can honestly say that you've lost your mind.
No, I know exactly where it is.
Really?
In his belly, of course.
He left something behind.
A machine. The hub of the city. I was scared at first. I thought, Pop ate my heart, and then he swallowed my brain.
What's left for you to live for?
But then I thought.
But then you thought.
The fame.
I want the fame, the fame, the fame.
Yeah, so
you okay? You still with us?
Creepy to say the least. There's a whole chart. I don't know exactly where this is from, but it's scanned in from a book because I can see the words on the other side. But at the top of the list, it says Illuminati, and then under it, it branches off into secret group societies and banking money groups. And then under that, it's intelligence groups, religious groups, education groups, political groups. So I'm going to post this somewhere. Hopefully it won't get deleted.
Like many of your stuff does.
but that is Britney Spears, the Illuminati puppet.
I'm really scared. Like, I have to go home and sleep by myself.
What do you think about it?
I'm shook. I don't want to think about it.
Did you ever hear about this stuff before?
Yeah, my friend from work used to give me all of these like videos and
Dude, sometimes you fall down a hole online and it's like a lot of the stuff's
Whitney
ridiculous, but
Houston,
like some stuff's crazy.
like stuff like that. Like the Illuminati killed her because of the constellations. They made her like a sacrifice for something. These videos are really, really, really like.
Some of the stuff's crazy if you actually like think about it.
I know, because it doesn't seem like it's that far off. Why wouldn't there be a?
Yeah, why would not an organization of people be working low key to take over literally the world?
Have you ever listened to a song and it almost like hypnotizes you? Like not hypnotized, but you like fall in love with the song.
Cupcake, Deep Throat.
I hate you, but I don't think it's like. I don't think that that's like an accident.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They definitely can do like certain things with like waves that they've found audio that can affect your brain. Wake up, America.
Please save us.
But what's your favorite Britney Spears song?
I have a lot.
Me too.
Okay, so
do you have a number one?
No, I have so many. I love.
Do you want me to name mine?
Yeah, because I'm.
Okay, so I like Toxic.
I need to see this thing.
Is a classic, obviously. I'm a Slave for You, which can be, read in different ways.
Right.
Every time that jam, that's a bop for sure. It's sad. Give Me More, Piece of Me, Womanizer, Circus.
Oh my God. Give Me More, Circus,
Man on the Moon.
Womanizer. What's that thing that she covered? But it's such a good song.
I Love Rock and Roll.
That one. Hold on.
If You Seek Amy. It's hard to choose her best album because I love so many, but Britney Jean is definitely her worst by far.
Oh yeah, that's just not even like relatable in like one way. Hold on, let's see.
Like honestly,
My Prerogative. I think it's my favorite.
Oh yeah,
even though it's a cover.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's really one of my favorites.
Every time the original would come on when I worked at Lush, and I would like be like, oh my God, I love this cover of the Britney Spears song, because people can never tell if I'm joking or not.
Overprotected. I love that one.
So like at least once a year for the past 3 years, I've listened to like her entire discography, obviously skipping some songs on Britney Jean. Sorry, girl. And I don't really care if the Illuminati is, penetrating my ear.
Right.
And if y'all are listening and you're hiring, can you please email us at odditiespodcast@gmail.com?
Yes, hire us.
Hey, how are you? I actually literally have an Illuminati all-seeing eye tattoo on my leg. Do I not?
Yes, he did a stick and poke himself.
I did. But hey, Illuminati, I have a bachelor's degree in media arts. I know how to work Photoshop, Microsoft Paint.
Stop it.
Let me know.
No, if you go work for them, we're not friends anymore.
Why? You can come. I'm a reptilian.
I don't want to be a part of that. I told you I'm not here for the disrespect. That's going to be my like new hashtag.
I want that sewn on a pillow.
I'm not here for the disrespect.
Yeah, I like that.
I tweeted that this morning.
Great. I'm going to go retweet it. Let's lighten the mood. Do you have a fun fact?
I do. Go first.
I guess I'm going first. Fun facts. In college, I was a little drunk and autocorrect changed Miley Cyrus to Molly Citrus. So that was our Wi-Fi name. And the following year, Jason went for Britney Spears and our Wi-Fi was Brought Me Pears.
The spinner dolphin can have as many as 252 teeth.
Do they work for the Illuminati?
Probably.
Wait, the what?
The spinner dolphin?
Spinner dolphin. Ew, that's gross.
So this guy I work with told me this other guy we work with said that dolphins come from wolves because wolves used to drink the lake and the lake used to have like fish in it.
And then they were like, I'm a dolphin now,
Yeah,
bitch, fuck you.
Basically, that's his theory.
Darwin who, bitch?
Basically, Donnie who. What is that noise he makes? Donnie Thornberry?
That's Darwin Thornberry.
I know, no, Donnie's the one that swings from trees.
Oh, yeah, Donnie. Donnie Deutsch.
Are we going to do this quiz?
Oh, we have a quiz. Thank you guys for sticking around. It is quiz time. We need a quiz time song.
We really love these quizzes.
Did I send it to you?
No, but I'm just making you do this because I need something else to think about.
Oh,
when I go
perfect.
home.
Because this quiz is, are you actually an Illuminati member?
Oh.
It's great for right before you go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, so.
All right. So we're going to make this the first link in the show notes if you want to take this quiz as well. So let's see if we can guess if you are a member of the famous secret society.
Where do you live?
We have to do this realistically.
You already know. I'm picking this house.
What, the big one?
Yeah.
Do you want to? You have to play. You have to play by the rules. You have to be truthful.
Okay. Well, this has it.
I'm doing. Okay, I got mine.
I want to do this big house.
Sarah, you're never gonna know if you're actually working for them or not.
All right. Pick a word.
Pick a word. Society, money, power, happiness, honesty, and fame. Oh, baby. I'm going to go with happiness.
Me too. That's what I picked.
As I click fame. Just kidding.
Yeah.
What does this hand sign mean? And it is a man making a triangle.
With a diamond.
With holding a diamond. It says, a new world order has begun. Big up or we rule the world. I'm going to say.
Big up? What?
We rule the world,
Ooh,
bitch.
I don't like this one.
Pick a name for the devil. Antichrist, Lucifer, or Satan.
It's Lucifer.
You picked Lucy. I picked Satan. Do you have any of these surnames? Wow, this is really trippy. Smith, Oppenheimer, Rothschild, Wilson, Nunn, or Rockefeller? I with a Rothschild.
I don't.
I'm gonna say none of the above.
Oh, there goes Rihanna, my girl.
Who would be your best friend? We have Barack Obama, John Lemon, and Katy Perry. I'm gonna say John. No.
I'm gonna say John.
I'm gonna say either John or Barack, but I feel like I wouldn't have much to say to Barack Obama because I'm not good at politics. So I'm gonna say John Lemon.
My parents' alma mater.
What kind of university did you go to? A local university. I didn't go to university. My parents' alma mater. A specialist subject one. Oxbridge or an Ivy League. A former Polytech. A former
Plot twist. I didn't go to college.
A former Polytechnic. Local university. Parents' alma mater. Okay. Got mine. I said a local. What does this saying mean? Say it.
No, I'm not saying it.
Novus Ordo Secularum.
Why would you
and
say
the
that
ground
out
starts
loud?
to shake.
I'm saying I said I wouldn't say that. I'm going to say New World Order. Ooh.
We're opening portals to shit we
sure
shouldn't
are,
be.
And your house is already...
And the results are calculating, bitches.
Your house is already... You know what?
What did you get?
I didn't get anything yet.
This picture is making me really uncomfortable.
Me too. Skip it.
Did you get your calculation?
Oh, Illuminati confirmed.
Hey, we made it, girl. We're in the
you
Illuminati.
You are definitely a member, a secret. And guess who the picture is?
Who?
Madonna.
Hey, listen. They're listening.
I know
they
they
know.
are. I don't like that.
I'm going to check my email. Hopefully they emailed us.
I gotta go.
I have this really cool resume I've been dying to send out. I made it on Microsoft Word.
You're the worst.
I'll send you guys the PDF file because I know you like PDFs.
PDFs are my shoes.
With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this show.
Hopefully I'm alive tomorrow because I have to go home and sleep by myself.
I'm going to be on a Britney Spears kick for a little while now.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you guys could, please give us a rating on iTunes. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. If you would like to support the show, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/esoteric oddities. You can follow us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. We love interacting with new people. And thank you guys again for all the support. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy your day and you clear your internet history.
Yes, all the time. Don't even look this stuff up because you're going to scare yourself shitless and not be able to sleep.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah.